Hello, I'm Darren again. Today's topic is looking at 7 different signs, commonly referred to as red flags or warning signs, that if present in the early stages of a relationship, could indicate it's not going to be a healthy one. Now, some obvious signs could include constant lying, being unreliable, being controlling, overly jealous, and insecure. However, the following are some of the more subtle signs, at least at first anyway, which are often ignored or overlooked, only for them to grow worse over time. The reason why they're often overlooked is because in the early stages of a relationship, when people are getting to know each other, well, they might just be seen as little irritations, little quirks, or minor flaws. Not necessarily deal breakers, not necessarily signs that someone is toxic. And also, if we were honest with ourselves, they can be things we thought we'd be okay with, or things we thought we could help them with, or even things we thought would just magically disappear if we love them enough. So the following are not just things that might happen once in a while or be situational. They are things that would tend to become more frequent or get worse over time. And the first one would be, they always seem to be under some kind of a strain. Everything is difficult for them, and they constantly complain about how they've been treated very badly by other people in different areas of their lives. They have been treated unfairly by their family, friends, work colleagues, even their ex-partners. And whatever it is they have been through or are going through at the moment, no one has ever had it as bad as them. No one has ever had to suffer like they have to. Now, they might tell you they have sought help, support, advice, or whatever, but nothing ever seems to work. No one and nothing can help them. Now, this can bring up the rescuer in some people. They do genuinely want to help, especially when they hear things like, "I always feel better when I'm with you." But this could well be the sort of person for whom, for every solution, there will always be a problem. And what you might find is, whenever you show sympathy and compassion, other terrible issues start to come up as well. They're really just feeding off your sympathy. And over time, what you might find is the problems, the issues they're struggling with are usually of their own making, and yet they will always blame others. Their shortcomings are always a result of other people. It's always their fault, which could mean sooner or later that will include you. Sign number 2 is they seem to be obsessed with their past relationship or relationships. Now, we do all have a past, and we might mention our ex-partners from time to time, but there is usually a context. Sometimes people might ask us questions like, "Why did you two break up?" or "What kind of person were they?" Or maybe we just want to share a memory we've had and they happen to be there at the time. But one way or another, there is usually a context. But if someone talks excessively about an ex-partner pretty much every chance they get, well, it could mean different things. First of all, it could mean they're not over them. Or it could be a way of inducing jealousy, perhaps testing the relationship. It can also be a way of avoiding intimacy. But also pay attention to how they are talking about their ex-partner. If they accuse that ex of doing the things you've noticed them do from time to time, chances are they'll accuse you of the same things one day. And that could include lying, cheating, being controlling. Sign number 3 could be an unhealthy relationship with their family of origin. Now, we do all have different backgrounds and history when it comes to our upbringing. Also, there's no such thing as the perfect family. And it can be a good thing to be close to your family. But if that person seems overly dependent on their family, it's like they're always seeking approval, they always obey, they always comply, or it seems as if they have to ask permission for everything and they never disagree with their family, that's probably not a good sign. I'll also add, if you see their family treat them badly and they just accept it as normal, they never speak up, never stand up for themselves, they might even defend the toxic behavior. That could probably be a sign of future difficulties with in-laws. Number 4 is constant attention seeking and an inconsistency in their attitudes and behaviors around other people. They're like chameleons, they change, become whatever they think will get them attention from different people. And if you pay attention, as they're trying to get attention from other people, they might just be ignoring you. It's like you don't exist. They're more interested in everyone else. Now, attention seeking can be harmless at times, sometimes it can even be fun, but whenever it's excessive, it can come across as then being false, self-centered, and lacking charm. And excessive attention seeking can stem from a desire for connection, but it can become a problem whenever someone starts creating drama just to get the attention. They play the victim, the hero, the joker, the intellect, whatever it is gets them attention in that interaction. They might even tell unflattering stories about you just to get a cheap laugh, or maybe some sympathy. But in the long term, whenever people behave like this, any interaction with them can seem false, hollow, even irritating. Sign number 5 is the opposite of being overly disagreeable, which is often associated with narcissism. And that's whenever you meet someone and they agree with everything you think and everything you say. It's like they've no mind of their own, no opinions of their own. And if they do, they change them very quickly just to agree with yours. Everything you do is fantastic. Everything you suggest is a brilliant idea. There are never any different viewpoints or opinions, and no constructive criticism. Now, they may just be trying to show compatibility, but after a while it can be draining. After a while they can come across like a salesperson trying to build that superficial connection. And there are various reasons why people can behave like this. For example, they might fear rejection. It could be because they think they're avoiding conflict. But it can also be a way of avoiding what they might consider to be a serious conversation. Now, serious conversations don't have to be difficult ones, but never being challenged or disagreed with or being able to have the conversation in the first place isn't something to be ignored, because those issues don't go away. And in relationships, people need to be able to talk about difficult things, future plans, money, where to live, and so on. People even need to run ideas past others just to see if there's anything they hadn't considered. Sign number 6 is anger. Now, anger is a difficult one in the sense that it is a normal thing to feel in certain situations. But when it becomes a problem is when the anger is either out of proportion to the situation or it's not expressed appropriately. Things may be said in the heat of the moment, but there generally are apologies, there's making up, and most importantly, those things are never said again. It's not, however, a good sign whenever it happens frequently, and sometimes even over the most innocuous things. It becomes normal. Sooner or later, you begin to fear their reactions. There can be angry outbursts, temper tantrums, rage even. You might even get insults, threats. Or they could just maybe implode, simmer beneath the surface, withdraw, and become resentful. These reactions are usually an indicator of someone's inability to manage their emotions, and in some cases, it can even escalate to physical abuse. Sign number 7 can be difficult to spot at first, even though it's right in your face. But that's whenever they start telegraphing what's to come down the line. And that is when they actually tell you maybe how crazy they are, how stubborn they are, how they never back down even when they know they're wrong. In other words, they're telling you how bad they are at relationships. They're telling you what to expect in the future. Now, these things may be said in a playful way, or perhaps maybe they're feeling insecure and they're hoping for some kind of reassurance. But this is one you might actually want to listen to. For instance, they tell you they have high standards. What that could mean is you're never going to be able to please them. If they tell you they never back down, chances are what they're telling you is, I'm not going to listen to a damn word you say. And at some point in the future, when you are trying to get through to them, explain how hurtful their behaviour is, well, you just might hear something like, but that's just the way I am, and you know that. I told you what I was like. Maybe what they're really saying is, you knew all this, now live with it. So there are 7 subtle warning signs present in a relationship which often go overlooked or ignored. Now, there are other signs I could have mentioned, such as passive-aggressive, sarcastic humour, backhanded compliments, not respecting privacy, and reacting badly to the word no. They might not be as easy to spot as the more in-your-face ones, such as outrageous lying, cheating, addiction, and so on, but they can still lead to more problems, even toxic behaviours in the future if they're not addressed in the early stages. If they are addressed earlier on, both parties are perhaps open to communication and to change, there is still the potential for a healthy relationship. But if not, well, you just might save yourself years of heartache. But as always, if there's anything you'd like to add, anything I may have missed, please use the comments section. And if you find this topic to be interesting, please consider subscribing. And until next time, thanks for watching.